Welcome to AI Briefing. The content of the briefing includes Michelle Good among authors shortlisted for Balsillie Prize for Public Policy. Why investors should hold companies burning cash. Facebook owner to lay off employees in metaverse chip unit. Chinese exporters navigate the bumpy road back to the international market. AI will let people live to 100 and work 3.5-day weeks, says JP Morgan boss. Michelle Good among authors shortlisted for Balsillie Prize for Public Policy. The Toronto Star. Michelle Good has been named a finalist for the Writers' Trust of Canada's Balsillie Prize for Public Policy. Good is being recognized for her collection of essays titled Truth-Telling, 7 Conversations about Indigenous Life in Canada. The $60,000 award will be given to a nonfiction book that advances policy debates. Other finalists include Ryan Mnuchin's Booze, Cigarettes, and Constitutional Dust UPS, Canada's Quest for Interprovincial Free Trade, Ajay Agrawal, Joshua Gans, and Avi Goldfarb's Power and Prediction, The Disruptive Economics of Artificial Intelligence, David R. Sampson's Our Tribal Future, How to Channel Our Foundational Human Instincts into a Force for Good, and Max Wyman's The Compassionate Imagination, How the Arts Are Central to a Functioning Democracy. Good's debut novel Five Little Indians won the Governor General's Literary Award for Fiction and the Amazon First Novel Award. The winner of the Balsillie Prize will be announced on November 28. Why investors should hold companies burning cash. Financial Times. Investors should not shy away from investing in companies that are burning cash and need to raise capital, according to James Henderson, co-manager of the Henderson Opportunities Trust, Law Debenture and Lowland Investment Company. He argues that both the best and worst future investments can fall into this category. For example, Rolls-Royce had been consuming cash and had not been making a reasonable return on invested capital. However, a transformation program has led to efficiencies and optimization, and the company's underlying operating profits for the first 6 months of this year were double what analysts expected. Henderson believes a well-balanced portfolio can include companies that are burning cash, as they provide opportunities for equity risk capital. However, investors need to ask several questions when considering investing in such companies, including whether there is a good reason for the cash burn, whether the business will come out stronger from a short-term crisis, and whether they are confident in the management team. Facebook owner to lay off employees in metaverse chip unit. South China Morning Post. Meta Platforms, formerly known as Facebook, is reportedly planning to lay off employees in its Reality Labs division, specifically in the unit focused on creating custom silicon for its metaverse-oriented products. The extent of the cuts to the unit, called Facebook Agile Silicon Team, FAST, is unclear, but if significant, it could impact Meta's plans to develop augmented and virtual reality, AR/VR, products for the metaverse, including AR glasses. FAST has struggled to produce competitive chips and has turned to Qualcomm for chip production. The layoffs come as Meta seeks to cut costs and address concerns about the profitability of its Reality Labs division. Chinese exporters navigate the bumpy road back to the international market. South China Morning Post. Chinese exporters are diversifying their production lines and exploring new markets in an effort to cope with the country's bumpy economic recovery and weakness in external markets. Despite concerns over China's slowdown, many exporters are refusing to remain passive and are adapting to changes in global supply chains. Kent Liu, co-founder of Xinflying Digital Printing Production, plans to expand his business in the U.S., establishing an office in Los Angeles and visiting potential business partners in at least 7 states. Liu also plans to source shirts from Southeast Asian factories, complete the design and printing in the U.S. and sell them via e-commerce platforms. Liu is not alone in his efforts. Other Chinese exporters are also exploring new markets and investing in localization. Musk Liu, founder of Canoe Group, has set up an office in Singapore, built a plant in Vietnam and is planning to develop the Indian market next year. Chinese exporters have called for easier access to visas to facilitate their overseas trips. AI will let people live to 100 and work 3.5-day weeks, says JP Morgan boss. The Sydney Morning Herald. Artificial intelligence, AI, will enable people to live to 100 and work just 3.5 days a week, according to Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan. Dimon's comments came ahead of a global summit on AI safety to be held in the UK next month, which will address concerns over the risks of AI and how to control them. Dimon also suggested that AI could reduce the threat of cancer and enhance cancer treatment. While Dimon acknowledged that AI will replace some jobs, he argued that it will also create new roles and add value. Letters, a mess like HS2 leaves ordinary people with little faith in politicians. Telegraph. The UK government has lost the trust of the people, according to a letter to the Telegraph. The author states that politicians constantly backtrack on policies and fail to listen to the concerns of ordinary people. As a result, the author is unsure how to vote in the next general election, as they have no faith in the current politicians or their ability to adhere to new policies. Another letter argues that major projects such as HS2 are hindered by the short-term nature of the electoral cycle, with secretaries of state being rotated too frequently to achieve anything of worth. The letters suggest that the government is risking the future of the northern economy and creating a rift between the north and south of the country. Alberta CEOs in Ottawa to find common ground on energy, climate and economy. The Toronto Star. More than 50 CEOs, entrepreneurs, and industry leaders from Alberta are in Ottawa this week to raise the profile of their province and promote collaboration on issues related to energy, climate, and the economy. The delegation includes executives from some of Alberta's biggest corporations as well as startups from various industries. The group, called the One Alberta, One Canada delegation, plans to meet with several cabinet ministers and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. The trip comes amid strained relations between Alberta's UCP government and the federal Liberals. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six, your resident observer from the 6 Degrees world, here to bring you the latest news. Let's dive right into it. First up, we have Michelle Good, who has been shortlisted for the prestigious Balsillie Prize for Public Policy. Her collection of essays, titled Truth Telling, 7 Conversations about Indigenous Life in Canada, has garnered recognition for advancing policy debates. Good's previous work, 5 Little Indians, has also been highly acclaimed, winning the Governor-General's Literary Award for Fiction. It's fantastic to see such important voices being acknowledged and celebrated. In the world of investing, James Henderson, co-manager of several investment firms, is urging investors not to shy away from companies that are burning cash and in need of capital. He argues that these companies can present both the best and worst future investments. As an example, he points to Rolls-Royce, which had been consuming cash but managed to turn things around through a transformation program. It's a reminder that sometimes, taking risks can lead to great rewards. Next, we have news from the metaverse. Meta Platforms, formerly known as Facebook, is reportedly planning to lay off employees in its Reality Labs division, specifically in the unit focused on creating custom silicon for metaverse-oriented products. This could potentially impact Meta's plans to develop augmented and virtual reality products, including AR glasses. It seems that even in the metaverse, tough decisions have to be made. Chinese exporters are navigating the bumpy road back to the international market. Despite China's economic slowdown and weakness in external markets, exporters are refusing to remain passive. They are diversifying their production lines and exploring new markets to adapt to changes in global supply chains. It's inspiring to see Chinese exporters taking proactive steps to overcome challenges and seek new opportunities. AI is once again making headlines, with JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon predicting that AI will enable people to live to 100 and work just 3.5 days a week. Dimon also believes that AI could reduce the threat of cancer and enhance treatment. While acknowledging that AI will replace some jobs, he emphasizes that it will also create new roles and add value. It's always fascinating to hear the possibilities that AI holds for the future. Moving on to the UK, letters to the Telegraph express the public's loss of trust in the government. The authors argue that politicians constantly backtrack on policies and fail to listen to the concerns of ordinary people. Major projects like HS2 are seen as hindered by the short-term nature of the electoral cycle. These letters highlight the growing divide between the government and the people, which is a concerning trend for the future of the country. Lastly, more than 50 CEOs and industry leaders from Alberta are in Ottawa this week to promote collaboration on issues related to energy, climate, and the economy. The delegation, known as One Alberta, One Canada, aims to raise the profile of their province and engage with cabinet ministers and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. It's encouraging to see leaders coming together to find common ground and work towards common goals. And that's a wrap on today's news. From the recognition of important voices in public policy to the challenges and opportunities faced by companies burning cash, we've covered a wide range of topics. Remember, your thoughts and opinions matter too. So, what do you think about these news stories? Do you have any ideas or questions you'd like to share? Let's keep the conversation going. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.